HLE really need to be very careful on how they pilot this early game.
Yeah, and trying to fight around the Aatrox spikes in the mid game can be disastrous for them if they end up losing those today.
Yeah, you know, figured it was the last day of the season, and, you know, even though Atlas can't be here in person, we do have Bear form Atlas as Tibbers. He is
because I think maybe some Ornn players would fall behind in this matchup or might mess it up. I don't think that we could say the same for Keegan.
Zeka hits the charm.
Yeah, he was trying to bait him in there. Might actually work, but Karis is his ear. Did not use his Q early.
He even played.
Yeah.
Like 2 games.
Maybe some influence coming through. He's like, remember when my team was winning, we were doing this. I mean, I think it's a solid style of drafting that obviously the meta has evolved and we've seen several
No,
patches.
I won't tell you my secrets in this interview, sorry. This is a little bit of an engage. Chompers come down. Deft is just dead. Okay, first blood goes to bloodthirsty support Vista here, who is able to set up that whole play by himself.
Yeah, Deft tanking the turret there. The game pace as low as it has been up until now. They look very strong, but those 6 spikes from DRX, definitely something that needs to be respected.
Deft's got red-white.
Yeah, he's getting in there. He doesn't really have items, but he does have an ultimate at least to throw on in. Tons of chakrams available. And you can see that Vista, the second he missed the lick, him and Samdi were just running away. There was no fighting the red-white. There was no...
They trade flashes. Kane comes over here, but I think this is a pretty near impossible contest. Zeka's just not in the area.
Yeah, they were considering it. Zeka
damage
also...
to this done by himself here. This is so greedy.
They're just going to go on Karis, though, looking for the kill here as Poshik is able to get it, even with the sweep. In the mid lane, Karis is not able to survive as OnFleek is just calmly taking the dragon. Takes him about 8,000 years on 12-14, as now they know.
He's getting it.
It's too late now, though, as he already has the 900 smite. Down it goes.
The Wukong, the Aatrox, and the Tahm Kench might be hard to take all of them down reliably until Deft really reaches late game stages of Phalios, and especially if Dudu is able to pick up a Black Cleaver secondly here, because I really like the Eclipse and Cyrilda's build, but doesn't look like that's what he's going for. Can also help Samdi get through some of the beefy front lines on DRX a lot better.
Oh, they're trying to get on top of Karis here, who they did see coming in. It is going to be denied on the shuffle. Is the damage there? Zeka's going deep, and he will pick up the kill. Deft flashes forward as he has the bailout, and it will be enough. And a fantastic read by the DRX bottom lane, knowing they had the damage to take out the Jinx, as that will be a double kill now over to DRX, and this game is blown wide open.
3 kills in total here. Bottom duo goes down. Deft was brilliant. Knows he has the bailout there, so it's a surprise tactic. HLE Esports a little bit slow to respond, but you cannot actually kill him in that gray health.
They're trying to kill him out of glass here on Fleek. You got to be careful, man. You're alone against everybody. He's really just grasping at straws now, looking for this one, as he's just going to be soloed down by the Vi.
Being 100-0, like in a straight-up all-in, he just doesn't have the same burst that Aphelios does.
Yeah, have a fight on live, it looks like, because teleport is going to be used. Ornhorn is coming out. It's going to catch 2 of them as a late teleport coming in now from, it looks like Dudu, as OnFleek is going to be taken down. Deft to take him out, as I believe the Rift Herald, it will at least go over to OnFleek, so just a sacrifice of OnFleek for that one, as now the rest of the team getting aggressive in the enemy jungle here. Dudu still looking for his angle, as Pioshik just going to run out of that one. The hostile takeover, not great, but I suppose it does keep them around, as that is going to be a kill for another bloodthirsty support barrel.
These are the kind of fights you can't be taking as HLE Esports with this comp. The Rift Herald's health is so high, it takes so long to take. Your Aatrox isn't there for the fight. And OnFleek once again being hopeful here on this dragon, might be able to get away with it twice.
And HLE, as they have looked for this entire split, it's looking a little bit disjointed there. A lot of cooldowns thrown to the wall, nothing really sticks. As a result, DRX is taking more and more leads across the board here.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a flank setup coming in from Dudu, but at the end of the day, it is Shurelia's, but is it enough to get Deft out of here? As that is a massive sweep out of Karis, but you're getting super deep once again, as a huge Devour is going to come out here from Vista, not quite able to take out Karis just yet, as the Great Escape actually does happen for our Azir player. He will get away.
Despite a lot of time being bought there from Deft and the bailout, which does not save Deft this time around, but now they have the health bar advantage to push in for the turret.
I think they're going to look for a little bit more here, as not sure about this one. Vista and Dudu sticking around. Pyosik getting low, though. This Aatrox finding his little angle, nearly able to take out Pyosik, and nearly gets out alive himself.
I think that the longer fight is definitely not in DRX's favor. However, I think considering their comp and the lead they have, fights shouldn't, on paper, take very long. And, you know, as Life Esports here, you really just need to stay grouped up.
This is one way to get it done. The Devour is forced early as a massive hostile takeover just rips through the front line of Life Esports. Dudu is left alone. Even though he does survive for an incredibly long amount of time, it does not matter at the end of the day. Double kill here for Deft. And a nice setup from DRX.
Arivi, you know, seeming pretty strong right now when you've got the Renata to hold it all together. And Life, they were grouped, but they were not set up for the fight. They were not ready for it. They weren't split against the AoE ultimates.
Instead of, you know, minus depth is what I'm looking for. Everybody's going to have some form of resistances that is going to be buffed up an insane amount by these buffed Mountain Drakes, as that is on Fleek in a rough spot. He is going to, even the deny on the Abyssal Dive, and OnFleek has to flash away, and just like that, you're getting tons of value just by running through mid as DRX.
Yeah, my fear for the 4 Mountains, Drake, Mountain Soul angle is I don't know if we even get to Soul Point here as DRX, because they have such a lead that as soon as they take Baron, I mean, their comp doesn't have amazing siege, but it's decent enough. You take Baron, you just start taking out inhibs early on.
Yeah, and this is one way to get fights going. Another force on the Devour here. Trade of ultimates. As in we go, we are bullying the Catfish. Pyosik going to set it up and feed Deft once again. Trying to get excited here. Samdi not able to get the kill onto Pyosik, as that one is going to sail wide. The Moonlight Vigil, but it doesn't matter because Deft is still insanely fed. Dudu, though, still full health.
Yes, they have just no realistic option here. They definitely know, but there's just nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, Vista, he's able to clear one ward, but can they clear out DRX from the pit? As Dudu certainly considering going over the wall here. Horn to be used as flash from Kingen, trying to get the highlight play once again. Doesn't get too much, to be honest. I mean, catches a couple of them, but the rest of this team was not there. But it's still a zoning ult, gets the Baron, and still should be not bad at all. As we are pushing in, looking for an inhibitor here. Let's see if Life want to stand up to them now, or will they go for it later? I think later is honestly a better idea. It's still relatively early on in this game, especially for your comp, so maybe you can just hold on for a bit.
I mean, if anybody overextends on the chase here from Hanwha to try to catch, they could turn so easily, and then you could turn this into double inhib, but just the one for now into Drake spawning in 30. Zeka's level 16.
He's also in the middle of nowhere, but actually just a huge bait because he has stopwatches. This is going to force the fight once again. As Zeka, he wants some payment for what just happened to him, but he will not get it.
No one dies, which is kind of baffling. Vista forced a flash, but outside of that, DRX, just such a good way to close out games. The ornaments are coming through. You have things like Frozen Heart.
Esports have to chase into, or they just have to surrender control of the map further. I mean, look at the vision here on the top side.
Yeah, and it's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel when 3 of them line up against the wall and you're Ari from ahead. So a nice chunk there from Zeka. Here comes a hostile takeover once again. That charm went through the Catfish. And it's not going to matter because Life are not standing up to them, not at this turret at least.
Should.
Yeah. This is a rough one, you know? Like, remember, Life had a great even game state. They got the kill bottom. You know, they had a Drake lead. It all went south.
Nice handshake here is going to force a Devour once again, and that is just a Aatrox that once existed. Deft is just standing up to him because he knows, and the pentangle is here, but OnFleek is going to shut that down. Not going to give him any hopes of that happening, not just yet, as Zeka will take a double kill at the end, and that is going to do it here. No time for quizzes when the game just ends.
Very decisive DRX win here in the mid-game. This is what the comps look like right now. Vi, Ari, so strong when you have even a slight lead, and Life Esports just kept taking fights their comp was not ready to take, not equipped to take, and not set up to take. Bad teleport there from Dudu, very late into the fight, and things just snowball so quickly out of control. 10,000 gold is the advantage when DRX take game 1.
And an inhibitor spawns, so they actually
Wait, that can't end.
might not be able to end.
Not quite yet.
They were fooling around, not ending the game, and now we have teleport coming in. Uh-oh! And it's going to amount to absolutely nothing. Dudu's not able to find anyone. The flank is, in fact, not real.
Yeah.
And the game will not end yet.
Top inhib is going down.
Yeah, they actually get Zeka.
Okay, Zeka. Really? He's going to end the game now. Good job, Zeka. You did it.
내가 여기서 오른 거로 나한테 올라간다. 나한테 올라간다. 나한테 올라가.
Your execution isn't crisp, especially with Jinx, even more so because she is such a... She's like Sivir, but doesn't have the utility of the R, so...
But that's a really nice cask for Silas.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I look at the rest of that draw, I'm like, well, Gragas is just impossible to play into for them. But it's going to be Olaf.
Olaf has very little peel compared to the Gragas, the Scion, the Ornn that we're talking about. Like, he will be able to, of course, become immortal in terms of CC and just can run at them. But he's not going to be knocked.
If we don't... Oh, no level 1 all-in. You have Brom and Olaf. Just run him down.
Mistake.
Just run him down. Be so fun.
Ghost Olaf, of course, as well.
Oh, as
boy,
should know. They did spot on Fleek as Ghost.
Yeah, that was an aggressive step up there from Dudu with a ton of minions. So now he definitely knows. Look at him, he's like, yeah, that was suspicious, my man. I know exactly where your jungler is.
I'm not buying, and while that was happening,
people just had to buy wards.
Yeah, remember when there wasn't a ward like Max you could put out? Just keep buying those and put them everywhere.
Zeka in a little bit of an awkward spot. He does move forward though, so he avoids the punch to the back of the head.
Yeah, gotta. If you want to make that gank work, you gotta either hit the Q or if Kara sets you up. Otherwise, Zeka just looks at you and is, well, I'm Fisher, and Deft can chain with his ultimate. Becomes really hard for you to actually get anything done.
It gets harder, for sure. And, okay, over here.
Yeah, Kingdom is going in there, but he did not win that trade.
Pioshik's nearby.
Yeah. But so is Zonfleet going to spot Pioshik here, who says, okay, I'll just fight you for a little bit and then I'll just walk away. Especially because Kingen is going to have to teleport back into this lane.
Yeah, that was creative way to try to set up a potential.
Yeah, he is very scary, actually. As a level 7 Olaf, as in goes Dudu into the Dominus, but he's not really able to do much. As in goes Zeka now. Looking for the catch. No charm for him, though. Doesn't quite have the damage to assassinate anybody, so just going to gain priority here on this one. But Humble Life, they're still fighting. They still having to move with it. Catch the back line. It's first blood here for On Fleek. And the rest of DRX are going to get caught. That's 2 kills now for the side of Humble Life, as trying to turn it around, but Deft has 0 mana. But here is Kingen looking to run them down, as he's even going to give the kill over to Deft, who picks up 2 kills.
If the Amumu engage there is with the Renekton, with his Dominus, they have all that extra damage, it's amazing, but in the scrappy fight, they cannot win it. Oh!
Uh-oh. One more axe and an E, I think is enough. Kingslayer, nope. And, ooh, looking for that. Just trying to dodge the damage out of the Silas, and King will be totally fine.
Does the Amumu engage from this
rush? On Fleek trying to get proactive on the map. As okay, and that's going to be a second and a third Spirit Rush used. On Fleek really forcing this one, and I think it's going to work because he's not able to get in range of the turret, and there's no threat on Takaris or on Fleek.
What is effectively a 4.5 melee composition, so as long as Barrel is around, the amount of playmaking that you have available to you as Humble Life is greatly diminished. And if that remains the case, you don't get... And let's not forget that playing Kalista into Olaf is a very miserable experience as Pioshik.
He's just going in alone. He's like, well, I'm stuck. I guess I'll just die. Yeah, very extremely aggressive positioning. Now, this isn't even with the Drake coming up or anything. Just gets roamed on, essentially, as now Beryl is going to flash away just to try to stay alive.
Yeah, they want to make sure they don't lose anybody else before this Drake spawns. Still, get power, the longer you try to slow this down. He's got great siege here in mid as well, so they could try to turn this into a mid turret, then a rotation over to that slow Drake take. Do kind of like what you're putting down here, Chronicler, in terms of what DRX could do. Now Cyclone is coming back up here for Pyosik as well. And this is a very awkward time. They're trying to push this bottom turret with Samdi solo while they also hold on to Drake Prio, but you can't get both here. And you will get the turret, but it's already a turret for a turret. DRX are grouped as 5.
Yeah, this going to get his ult at least. Curse the Sad Mummy available. Dudu on the flank here on the left side. Kingen trying to zone for him, but a little bit low on his own bit of health. So let's see how this is going to go. Samdi stacking up the sticks into that Drake already. Barrel getting aggressive into the pit as Zeka now gonna hit that concussive blows, but he's alone in the pit as Deft is gonna get this first kill. But the Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to 100-0 the Ahri as the backline of Power Life has seen a lot of damage here, and that should do the trick. On Fleek is going to stay alive for now, as he will get over the wall, but Deft will have something to say about that, as he will be able to pick up that kill for himself.
I mean, Pyosik just 1v1 Samdi in that fight. You just pushed him away, cyclones him, and then takes him out. Samdi does very little damage in the fight.
That. Although Fate's Call did have to be used. A very long cooldown. Now down for, I suppose, this Rift Herald that they could try to rush. They still have a minute on this.
Everfrost coming back up here for Zeka, which is part of what allowed them to turn that 2v2 around, survive for the longer fight. Look at Deft, completely untouched here.
And Barrel is just the gatekeeper. He is quite literally holding the door, as nobody can get in. It's just him and Kingen. You know,
Hail Mary for Humble Life here. Either get the Drake or face the wrath of an Olaf with an Ocean Soul. As if you get this whole point as DRX, fighting for Humble is going to be incredibly difficult. Deep flank.
It's hard to start this Drake as Hanwha as well because you're all melee, and that's when the arrows are really going to start to hurt long term here in this fight. Conflict is hoping for an angle, but he's spotted.
Yeah, Kingen and Barrel. Again, they are just a friendly duo together, and they are insanely tanky. Vista's like, no, not that guy. I didn't mean him. Not the doorman. As Vista nearly dies just by that, as the Cyclone is huge value in the back. You see Karis is trying to access that backline and actually is able to get on in there. Karis doing insane amounts of damage, and this opens up the fight for Samdi as he's hopping over the wall. Kingen, though, is resetting, and it's not going to be enough. That is a ace for Hanwha Life Esports.
And there you see what happens if you do get the backline access. Deft goes down almost immediately. And even though Vista goes incredibly low at the start of that fight, he's able to get...
That's it. I'll submit it. I'll submit the email.
All right, you figured it out. Thank you.
I'll submit the email to the item team tomorrow. There you go.
So now that they have a decent spot here in this game and a slight lead and a Callista, Hanwha Life are just going to start the Baron. And they are going to say, come at us, bro. They do have very nice turn here with the Amumu especially. On fleek.
Oh, good ward.
On flank, in this case. So now he's looking for it. Look at Deft. He's like, I'm just going to run mid. And actually, the poke damage is pretty significant already onto the side of Hanwha Life. And On fleek goes in alone and just dies. So Kingen is going to take him out.
That ward is everything. They just see him, they turn on him, and Hanwha Life are caught because there's no way to actually bridge the gap there. Pyosik has Cyclone. You can't just run at DRX and they just kill the Vi immediately. That should be a Baron setup.
Yeah, it's certainly the setup for the Baron. You see that Hanwha Life are sticking around, considering fighting this one, 4v5.
Oh, that's a choke point, and the Mumu.
Yeah, they are going in here. That is a massive Fate's Call into the Curse of the Sad Mummy. And Mumu gets it! Are you serious? As that is going to be a huge bouncy castle inside of this one little hole in the wall, and that is going to be a full clear from the side of Hanwha Life Esports on top of the Baron.
Well, that's a disaster, as not only...
I mean, Hanwha Life, we said the siege isn't great, but if they split as 4-1, they have hard dives, so DRX need to respect this.
Yeah, pretty much just threatening this one, and DRX, they still have the tools in their champion kits, but do they have the money? Do they have the ability, even? I mean, some of the decisions in this game have not exactly been clean, as in goes Pyosik. And now Dudu is frontlining. In goes Vista quite deep, and Dudu is going to survive throughout all of that. Fate's Call will save the Sad Mummy. And everybody on the side of Hanwha Life does get out.
And they're going to go over here towards this Drake with the extra wave down bottom. I think Hanwha Life should be able to take this for free. They also have so much setup vision. If DRX were to make a Hail Mary run down to this Drake to try to take it out, they cannot. Hanwha Life Esports going to take than Zeka has been able to because the pylon is so hard and he hasn't been able to peel for everything. Notice his kill score is way lower.
Uh-oh. I don't know if King is getting away from this one, but maybe he doesn't want to get away from this one. He is going in, fighting. There's a teleport coming in. Stopwatch is what saved Karis' life, and it's actually Zonya's, and he's going to be
damage, but I don't know if you're actually getting any of it off with the amount of backline access that Hanwha has.
All right, we're just diving, and that's what this comp does so well. The Curse of the Sad Mummy onto the entire front line. This is just going to be a wash. Hanwha Life Esports are going to come in here and threaten DRX to take a victory away from a playoff team in DRX here, and it's looking pretty likely they're just going to go with the bottom lane. Has supers already in position, and this should be the final push.
Yep, looks like we're going to a game 3 in this one. DRX needed a cleaner look to convince us of their start to playoffs here. Dropping a game to Hanwha Life in this fashion. Definitely not it here tonight.
They're going to wait. They're going to take out Kingen because they might as well, as that will be 1 kill for Zeka, but not nearly enough, as they're looking for even more. In goes Karis for 1 more, as that is going to be the Nexus going down. And game 2.
Control. Then instead of turning, they flip on Baron. Don't even get the buff. Like, if you get the Baron there, you might not die. You know, maybe you're actually able to get it done. Maybe that is... Pressure and reliable. I think Ornn, in terms of laning matchup, doesn't get bullied nearly as easily, but Hanwha Life is effectively playing exactly the same draft. Sure, they have...
You guys remember that League of Draven?
Yes.
Back in the day. Feels like we're headed
Well, for example, what if you unseal Leona and then she gets the full power of the sun instead of just, you know, a little bit?
I think you're going to have to wait for the MMO for that one.
I think you're going to have to wait till Sunny D sponsors the LCK.
How'd you take your X move?
Hold that thought.
Yeah, we do have some action. Grabbing him onto seemingly everything, but it doesn't matter. Not able to slow them down enough, as the power of Draven really showing off here as the knock-up into the auto is not enough. Samdi's still playing before the durability patch, unfortunately, in his mind. Zeka's totally fine. He does have the Spirit Rush. Karis did use his ultimate.
Oh,
looks
Zeka?
like. Yeah, Karis used his ultimate, so Zeka knew he was pretty safe.
Isn't great without Renekton, and he's on the wrong side of the map.
Dudu is greeting heavily for the plate, and he's gonna get it, but he's under some threat. He has to flash away as Pyosik is coming in, but almost questioning, you know, where's On Fleek, and
oh, yeah.
it is potentially gonna save him. He's just here to try to help clear the wave, but not really gonna be successful. Pyosik now the target, has to flash away. In goes Dudu, lands a stun. Pyosik is going back in.
Hit 6.
He hit 6 with his smite, and then he just dies.
Well, they're sitting with a full rage bar.
I think he's dead.
Yeah,
There is a, Prison comes in, that's the end of him. Karis comes up for a view.
Now Kingen is just trading into a Renekton that is so far ahead. On Fleek.
Looks like maybe they want to force a cleanse here. Should be able to. Oh, they get the flash, even better.
Yeah, matter. No objective coming up in the next 2.5 minutes, so no problem at all as they go in deep.
Oh boy, I think Def didn't expect to see that, but he is going to be dove in the backside. They don't quite have the damage. Finally do get it as Braum picks up the kill. And now from the bottom lane, even Samdi's getting in there as he's going to be running in. Pyosik picks up a kill, and that is the only one for the side of DRX as they get pummeled again, this time in the jungle.
I mean, they have to. I mean, what is Hanwha Life going to be doing? They're trying to get deep vision. They're trying to dive. They're going to be dropping this down. They're going to take the whole turret. Because you died there, there's no defense. First turret, all the plates on a Draven who hasn't even cashed in yet. But he's 1,100 gold up. The conditions up to the top side now. There's nowhere that DRX can come over here and contest.
This is getting very exciting.
It's like a fun minigame.
Yeah. This is just going to be the Rift Herald crashing. Not going to be able to deny this one, of course.
If DRX they were trying to win a fight and be flashy, no, they're just getting caught in the jungle.
They didn't draft Yasuo Sejuani, you know. They drafted a real composition here. Beryl going to try to bait very nicely, but look at that. Braum exists into Ornn. That's all he's got to do.
They're coming back. Oh, I thought he was going to flash.
It was pretty close, kind of.
I don't know how much health Barrel is on, because he has the execute.
Yeah, certainly.
I think he has just enough to survive
Probably
there.
at like 600.
Yeah, I think
would be my well, definitely now because he's healing up a little bit. But it's a nice play anyway from Humalife just to secure this middle turret.
Because we have seen that, especially on this patch, it was already a development that started last on 12-13, but agency is everything. And the comp of Humalife has so much ways to start fights. There we go!
We are going in. That is almost an execute, it feels. As now OnFleek is going to have to flash away. Follow-up engage comes in here from DRX, from Pioshik. And even then, they're not quite able to get that one going. As in goes OnFleek again. Almost just trying to bait out fights here with their gold lead. As the flank, though, coming in. Zeka has got an angle, and actually the damage is pretty huge. As now Karis is just going to blow up that Aphelios in the back line. But he will have to pay for it, as at least he will stop the chase in the mid lane.
Well, you know, there are ways, there are methods, there are chances to come back here as DRX. All it takes is a huge overextension, especially with the lead they had. So
we do in Baron.
Yep, this is a good way to force a fight on your terms. No vision here for DRX. Choke point control is theirs.
Summoners mostly down, at least flashes on the side of DRX as well. No flash for Death, none for Barrel, Zeka, Pioshik. They do know now, and OnFleek is running to mid lane. Looking for a cheeky flank onto Deft, it looks like. And might just work. I mean, he's going to be seen if he goes over the wall immediately. He's now thinking about going in onto Pioshik here, who does have that clone available, is going to get into the back line, but he's incredibly low, as immediately Samdi is going to cash out. Not the cash out he was looking for, but still one, as a pretty big Moonlight Vigil does come in, but Deft not quite having the damage just yet. And there's no peel for him anymore, as he'll pick up one kill. And only the one kill as a quadra on the side of Samdi.
And Humalife fans erupt in happy cheer as they might have actually picked one of the 2 days where Humalife is going to be able to pick up away an immense amount of money going into their pockets. And now as a result, 10k gold deficit. Yeah, the scaling on DRX is good, but scaling can only get so much work done when you're this far behind. The cooldowns available as well, where we saw Karis in that fight.
Oh, nicely done by Vista. He's just going to jump straight in front of that charm. Cyclone is pretty big, but it's not really doing much. The follow-up is lackluster. Samdi has a stopwatch as well, as OnFleek will get into that back line. And Humalife are just going to wipe them underneath this turret. That's going to be the end of this one. As down goes the entirety of the team, and they run towards mid lane to pick up their second win of the summer season.
You can't hard there. It's low range Ahri. If you get the stacked up chain CC, then yeah, you can probably kill the Draven, but it requires a lot more setup. And notice that Kingen is like, I'm watching him a little bit. It almost looks like he's.
You know, that's something.
Yeah.
That's 500 gold.
Hey, he still has the effect of the potion.
Yeah, for a little
the
bit.
elixir.
You might not have it when they fight Veldus.
True.
That's
now
an
he's
angle.
Gonna be glowing,
to help him get this
fiery
Baron.
blue. Yeah, he did like 1 Q, and then he's like, all right, I'm out.
My work's done.
Sick value.
Yeah.
Gold efficiency.
He's really pushing this wave real hard.
Why is it a death kill?
Because Death Hat sounds dumb.
No, it doesn't.
And their names here in this game.
At least the chain sword is an actual sword with a chain on it.
That's true. That is one where they did a great job, even if the name does sound a little bit silly.
If they don't win playoffs, you might not actually get to see Deft in front of a crowd giving a final interview for the rest of his career.
You know, certainly some very extreme feels on both sides, no doubt, that we are running into here. Once Humalife eventually pull the trigger, which they will, they get into that back line. Is it the Penta angle? Is the only question, and no, it will be stolen away. Samdi will not be able to pick that one up, as the rest of the team just running on in, trying to pick up as many kills as possible, but that should do it here for game number 3. Humalife Esports are going to take down the Nexus and take down DRX in their last series of this season that we do have. Down will go Cars. It does not matter. Humalife Esports will finish 2-16 in summer 2022.
Yeah.
Well, you could see is a little bit of a bittersweet ending there, even in the comms.
Yeah.
Cars was like, well.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the Hana Life's full team post-game interview translation. Congratulations, guys. So you guys picked up a win to close out the summer split. And it's been so long. I heard it's been, for you, 2 years since you actually had an on-stage interview. Hello, this is Hana Life Esports top laner Dudu. My current name is Dongju Lee. Last time I did interview here was with Lee Hans, like in 2020. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, Hana like grabbed a comeback victory over DRX. And that back-to-back Renekton play was the key to the win. I think Renekton is slowly climbing the tier list these days. Why is that? It's mostly because of the patch version. Herald is a lot more expensive now, and he's a lot more tankier. So Renekton is really strong at the timing. So he can always have the lane prio when the Herald does respond. So I think that's mostly the reason why Renekton is one of the OP picks right now. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but unless he gets nerfed, I mean, as long as he's like untouched, he'll be on top of the tier list. And Dudu, you are the PUG leader on the side of Hana Life Esports. You have been the standout player on the side of Hana Life. And how do you look back the entire summer split? I think, I don't know. I can also say I had a success this split, but I can also say I had failed. But my personal goal was accomplished. So I hope to come back. I hope to come back stronger for the next split, you know, and accomplish our team's goal as well. Looking forward to 2023 season Dudu's performance. Was there anything you would like to say if you get to do an interview? I want to say just, you know, thank you to all of my teammates, our coaching staff, all of the people working for Hana Life, and also the fans who always showed up and always just watched us lose, you know. I know over the course of the time it was a very rough season, but with this, you know, win on the last match, I think we kind of gave them the faith that we can, you know, do it. Now let's hear from OnFleek. You are the centerpiece of Hana Life's macro, taking all the objectives. How was the last match of the split? Because this was the final match of the season. You know, we were gonna give it out all, and I'm so happy that we got the win. Even though you guys dropped the first game, you guys managed to get the comeback. So when was the turning point? Well, in fact, when we got the first streak in game number 1, I was like, we got the series today. And then we lost the game, so I was like, something's going wrong. And then we won game 2, so I was pretty confident that we will walk out with a win in the end. So as a captain of Hana Life Esports, any kind of word over to all the players and the fans? I mean, our fans and players were going through so much, you know, of a hard time, but they never gave up, you know. We always tried our best, and we finally kind of made it up for them, and we were able to get this win for the fans. And also to our fans, just thank you so much for all the support this season. And then Karis, this was the last match of the split. What was on your mind on the way to Low Park today? Because we had such a long losing streak. I was like thinking this would be our last chance to end the losing streak, so I was like, we have to win this game. And Karis, you have been playing as a starting mid laner on the side of Hana Life this year long. In what kind of aspect have you kind of stepped up the most? I really wanted to get better at my laning phase and also playmaking as a team. And this time around, our coach Sudal gave me so many advices, so I was able to step up in terms of, you know, those aspects. Karis, what is your personal goal? Well, I mean, we left a lot to be desired this split, you know. I'm really sorry about what we have, we were not able to do this split, but I just want to say I'm so grateful for all the support from the fans, and I will make sure to repay all of your supports next year. Now, Samdi, you were able to close out the season with a win with the Draven performance in Game 3. How do you feel? I was like 0-0-0 in the Damwon series, so I couldn't sleep that night. But I guess I'm gonna get some great sleep tonight, finally. I mean, Hana Life banned 3 marksman courts and then locked in Draven. What was the strategy or plan heading into the last game? Because the opponent AD carry is a very strong player, so if I can actually play against Daft with all the remaining AD carry pool, maybe we can put up a great fight, after we remove all the strong kind of meta picks. Samdi, what does this regular split mean to you as we are at the end of the split? I think I thought my professional career might be at a bit of a risk because I was so underperforming this season. And moving on to Vista, were you expecting a huge win like this on your way to the venue? We actually have defeated DRX multiple times starting from the spring split, so I was pretty confident. And Vista, your performance in the Mumu was the highlight of that game. I think Kalista Mumu comp is all about Vista's outplays. Why you're so good at it? Somebody likes Kalista. I also prefer champions that has AoE crowd controls, So Mumu kind of connects with me really well. And Mumu stole the Baron with the tears floating on the ground. Were you expecting that? Not at all, I just wanted to fight. I was looking for fights, but my tears, actually reflects the tear I've been like crying this split, I was going all in this final series. I think this split, Hana Life was getting so much support from the fans. I want to say thank you, and also our coaching staff, our players are doing a great job until the very end of the split, and I hope we can learn even more in the off season and come back stronger for next year. And once again, congratulations on the win to close out the regular split. And this will be the end of the interview from the Hana Life Esports players, and back to the casters. Thank you.